All right, we're back again. It is a Wednesday. It's beautiful, it's sunny. I wish I could show that to you, but just take my word for it. We're excited to have Travon or Travon? What?
Travon.
Travon, okay. Your wife would say it differently.
Yes.
I was quizzing her a little bit today on that, and so
Yeah.
she says you're wrong, so I'll leave it at that.
I mean, my name, you know.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, it's my name. I can do whatever I want. So, all right, very good. All right, so what is your role here at Gateway Woods?
I am a LARC coordinator.
Okay, so for somebody that doesn't really understand what that is, unpack that just a little bit for us.
Okay, so my main job is to find mentors for kids here at Gateway, kids who don't have a lot of support. We try to have people come alongside them and walk through life with them. Also, we do employment, so if a kid on campus wants a job, that comes through me. If a kid needs help applying for college, really anything that has to do with after Gateway Woods, we handle that.
Very good, very good. Yeah, we'll get back to that a little bit, but let's, so Gateway Woods, obviously your wife, Samantha, works there. I haven't had the privilege to interview her yet, hopefully maybe in May for foster care month, but is that the sole reason that you're here today, or like what led you to Gateway Woods?
A bunch of experiences. So a couple months ago, well, I guess now it's been a while, so maybe 6-7 months ago, I worked for Nestle.
Okay.
And I was going to move to South Carolina, and I was going to manage a factory in South Carolina. And for me, coming from my background, you know, we never had money, so like that's a opportunity for me to make a lot.
Sure.
So, and it's warm, no
Yeah.
snow in South Carolina, so you know that was a blessing in itself. But I had a dream one night that I turned that job and that opportunity down, and right away I was like, God, like, are you telling me you want me to leave this? Like, everything I worked for, went to college for, and he was just like, yeah, you're leaving. You're not gonna pursue this anymore. You're gonna bring people to my kingdom. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm the right person for that. But yeah, after that I really dove into my Bible and was praying as much as I could, and I really, I guess, accepted, like that's what God's calling me to do. So I turned down that opportunity at Nestle. So I just left it in God's hands. A couple months after that, still working at Nestle, and I was like, God, you called me to leave. I'm still clocking in every day. Like, come on. But yeah, so after that, I was like, I'm just gonna go out and get another job. God will catch up. No, that's not how it works. Yeah, I got every job, and I prayed on it, and I want to make sure that this is it. If God's playing catch up, I want to make sure that He's involved. He told me no every single job. So a couple months after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a job, and you can catch up however you see fit. So I did that, went out, got another job. The next day, the branch manager called me and told me that the store was closing down. So God is like, no, you're going to follow the blueprint. And yeah, I was like, okay. Shortly after that, we went to the Gateway Woods Christmas party.
Okay.
And just seeing the environment and just everybody, this is like a family. Mm-hmm. I had never experienced that in a workplace before. So I did a little research into what this whole place is about, and I stumbled upon LARC and Willowbridge, and coming from very low income neighborhoods, you don't have a lot of support. No one takes the time to get to know who you are. You're either a number or you're a person in line waiting for food at the food bank, or you're just not. It's like you don't count. Mm-hmm. You're stepped over, marginalized, and for a company to come and say, we're going to help these kids, that spoke to my soul, and I knew, like, God is like, this is where you're supposed to be. And my wife works here, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just knew in that moment that God is calling me here to Gateway.
That's really special. Modern day Jonah here. Run away from God.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, we all run away from God to our chagrin because we don't get very far.
Yeah.
So thank you for that transparency. That was really good. If you have questions for Travon, please chime in. So 6-7 months ago, or actually, wait, Christmas. So then when did you start here?
I started in February 1st.
Okay, so wow, just a couple months here. So
yeah.
How has it been so far?
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. I feel like I feel God move here daily, and it's amazing. Just being able to speak into people's lives, give them guidance. I've been in a lot of places where these kids have been or grown up, so I can kind of speak on another side of how they're feeling or how their things are turning out.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, because I just love when, I don't know, I just love the analogy in the scripture that basically Jesus is the sculptor, right? He's got the shard of clay and he's shaping it. And so not only is he shaping us, but he's shaping these kids. He's using us to do that. And mentors, as you mentioned, Willowbridge. Speak into that a little bit more because it's kind of new. I know we have some information out there, but you're a little bit more on the inside look.
Yeah.
How can people get involved with Willowbridge or?
So right now we need drivers, people willing to take the time out of their day to drive some kids back and forth to work, because a lot of kids, whenever they come into Willowbridge and they're transitioning from Gateway to this, so like cars aren't really, they're scarce.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyone can do one thing. If you want to make a meal and bring it in, if you just want to come help clean up. And demo just got done, so there's definitely some work to be done there. It's going to be amazing. I think there's such a need, because once you're 18 and you're an adult, I think the system just kind of like, oh, you're on your own, but you're not mentally ready to go through what life is going to throw your way.
Yeah.
And I think having a soft place to land is so important. If we can show these kids what the world looks like a little bit at a time, get them really ready to be a part of society, I think that's just amazing.
Yeah, very good. So, summer, when do we feel that Willowbridge is going to be open and kind of running?
So Rob has a very aggressive timeline of June, but it'll either be June or July.
Okay.
For sure.
And do you have kids already in the waiting for?
We have a few prospects.
Okay.
Who we think would be an amazing addition.
So what does that process look like? I mean, is it like a formal interview, or how do you kind of? Obviously, God's going to be working behind the scenes, but what do we do?
So we have some kids on campus right now that we feel would be, just amazing and really thrive in that environment. But nothing is planned out, set in stone yet. It's still kind of a working process, because each person is going to be different circumstances, different. It's just going to be different. So, a case by case basis, I guess.
Very good. So, and I'm sure we'll speak more onto that, maybe with Rob, or once we have the building a little bit more established, we'll go over there and maybe have like a tour or something down the road. So stay tuned later this year, this summer, before the grand opening. When it is, we'll get more of a sneak peek and some more details. But so obviously on Facebook, we'll try to share different information we have about Willowbridge. You can go to our website now and check it out as well. So, all right, so back to, if you're fine with it, speaking to a little bit more of your childhood and kind of how God brought you to where you are today.
So I grew up in Section 8 housing. It's government assisted housing. We lived in that for a very long time. My dad left when I was young, so it was just me and my mom, my little brother. My little brother ended up not doing so well in school, getting into fights, arguments, so he moved in with my grandparents at the time. So at that time, again, it was my mom and myself. My mom worked 12-hour days to support us. Some nights she would work more than that, just wouldn't come home. So it was just me kind of alone at the end of the day. Easy to get in trouble when it's just you by yourself in a community that does not care. It was not abnormal to hear gunshots at night or during the day, getting off the bus. Drug busts in my neighborhood constantly. And I think once you're in that culture, you just adapt to that culture. You know, things aren't as shocking as they would be. Like looking back now and realizing, like, man, some of the stuff I did, it's truly a blessing that I was not in jail. But one day I was walking back from a fight that just happened, and someone from the church, we took a shortcut through a church parking lot to get back to my house, and one of the youth leaders came and said, "Hey, you guys want to come to church?" And we were like, "Oh, of course not. Like, this is not who we are. Like, we're not perfect people.
Sure.
So, yeah, we don't want to go to church." But they were like, "There's free basketball." And I was like, "Free basketball? Like, that's where I'm at, 100%. So I was like, I could go listen to someone speak for 30 minutes and then play basketball for a couple of hours, of course. So that's what I did for 3 or 4 months. And then one day, the youth pastor was speaking on Saul and Paul and how God can change a person. Hit my soul, man. Like, I was just like, I didn't think there was another way. Like, this is my life. This is how I lived life every day. So to hear someone say that it can be different, I was shocked. And like shortly after that, I started cracking open my Bible occasionally. But at that time, there were just stories, just interesting stories. One night, I was walking my friend's home, and I felt God for the first time in my life. And I fell to my knees, and I'm sobbing, and you just feel a presence that it's earth-shaking. Like, it's beyond anything I've ever felt in my life. And I knew in that moment that this is God. I have to change. I have to change my life, because I want this feeling all the time. Like, I want God around me constantly. After that, like, I was at the church every day. Every day the doors were open, I was doing youth, tear down, set up. Sunday, any day I could be there, I was there. And from then on, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Amen. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So how old were you at that point?
I was 14.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So where were you raised? Like which city? Or
Elkhart.
Okay.
Elkhart, Indiana.
Very good. So not too far from here, but
about an
so,
hour and a half.
How's your mom doing these days?
She still lives in the area of Elkhart. I'm trying to get her to move to Fort Wayne. That's where she works, and she was raised there, so tough to get her to move.
Sure.
But she's doing well.
Good.
She's doing well.
Well, we're glad to have you here. You've been just a breath of fresh air to the LARC and to Gateway, and your wife. Like I said, I haven't interviewed her yet or been able to just talk with her, but she just seems like a peach, if I can say that. And so just very thankful.
Yeah.
And don't want to take too much longer, but is there anything that you've learned in the short time that you've been here that has got you excited to work here at Gateway?
I think just seeing people genuinely care about kids. Again, to touch like on my past, no one cared. No one had, the time to see people make the time, make this a career, coming and being with kids and supporting them, truly supporting them. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like this before.
Wow. Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments?
Yeah, a couple comments came in. Deshaun Adams says, hey.
Hey. What's up?
And Christy says, I've already witnessed Travon's passion for the individuals we work with. He brings a lot of energy and balance to our team. And then she asked kind of similar questions. So far, since working with these amazing kids, has anything opened your eyes or impacted you yet?
I think, again, just having so many people, like, devote themselves to caring and, you know, trying to walk through life with these kids. It's amazing.
Is there anything that was particularly surprising in coming to work for Gateway?
The singing. There is a lot of singing. Yeah.
You came right before the rep meeting. We don't do that all year round.
2 times a year.
Yeah. I think just the culture here is a little different, but it's very welcoming, and I love it. I can't personally sing at all. I'm glad you guys can drown me out. Yeah.
You just stand back with Matt, my brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt. It's true. I am not a good singer either.
Yeah.
So, very good. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Okay. We do have, obviously, openings, and specifically in LARC, we have a systems coordinator, which I think is just more of a part-time position, just really kind of behind the scenes. So Travon and Christy and Julie and Rob can be more out actively pursuing these relationships rather than having to do so much of the office work. So if you're an organized person, you have a flexible schedule, or you want a flexible schedule, that might be the right fit for you. So contact us. House parenting is another need that we have. House parent supervisor, which is giving really the support to the house parents and just alleviating some of the job pressure that Clint has, so he can kind of do some other tasks, and also house parents, so assistants and families, and then we also have a teacher opening. So something to be prayerful for, and obviously just sharing that with friends and family. I mean, you heard it from Travon. I can say as much as you want, but it is a great place to work. It's a really great environment here, and it's a community that I'm blessed to be a part of. I'm glad that Emily's here, and Travon, and many, many others. So we will see you next week.